The rise of Mike Tyson, boxer. The seeds of a champion, 1970s, early 1980s. The streets of Brownsville are alive with chaos. Young Mike Tyson, around 7 years old, walks down an alley with his head low. Laughter and shouting echo around him. He clutches a brown paper bag containing bird feed. Young Mike. To himself, "They don't get it. My pigeons, they ain't stupid like people." He reaches the rooftop where his pigeons are kept. The birds flutter around as he feeds them. He smiles, a rare moment of peace in a violent world. The bullying. Ext, schoolyard. Next day. A group of older kids surround Mike. One of them, Marlon, grabs a pigeon from Mike's hands. Marlon. "You care more about these stupid birds than yourself? What's wrong with you, Tyson?" Marlon kills the pigeon in front of Mike, tossing it aside. Mike's world snaps. He lunges at Marlon, his small fists hammering like a machine. Marlon crumples, blood streaming from his nose. Older kid. Shocked. "Yo, this kid's crazy." Juvenile detention. Inter Spofford Juvenile Detention Center. Rec room. Mike sits alone in the corner, his head bowed. His hands tremble as he picks at his fingernails. Cus D'Amato, a stern but charismatic man in his 60s, walks in. He stops in front of Mike. "You're Tyson, huh? Heard you've got a temper." Mike doesn't respond. A temper can break you, or make you. The choice is yours. Mike looks up, his eyes narrowing. Mike, softly. "What do you know about it?" Cuss kneels to Mike's level. "I know what fear looks like, kid. It's in your eyes. Let me show you how to turn it into something unstoppable." The beginning of training. Montage, early training. Mike awkwardly punches a bag, his movements raw but powerful. Cuss teaches him the peekaboo style. Always protect yourself. Young Mike watches boxing tapes of Muhammad Ali, Joe Louis, and Jack Dempsey. Boxing is 90% mental, Mike. The physical part? That's just the vehicle. The rise to glory. Early 1880s. First fight. Int. Small boxing venue. Night. The bell rings. Mike, now 18, charges his opponent. His punches land like thunderclaps, and within seconds, the opponent is down. The crowd goes wild. Announcer. "Ladies and gentlemen, that is a first-round KO by the young phenom, Mike Tyson, meeting Jim Jacobs and Bill Caton." Int. Jim, day. Mike spars in the ring as Jim Jacobs and Bill Caton, both sharply dressed, watch from the sidelines. Cuss stands with them. "Jay, The kid's a natural. He doesn't just punch, he explodes." Cuss. "He's more than that. He's a once-in-a-lifetime fighter." Championship run. Montage, knockouts and media attention. Mike knocking out opponents in the first round repeatedly. Clips of Mike on TV interviews, showcasing his growing charisma. Cuss teaching Mike psychological techniques. Always intimidate before you throw the first punch. When they step into the ring with you, they've already lost. Becoming champion. Ex Las Vegas, 1986, night. The fight against Trevor Berbick is brutal and quick. Mike overwhelms him, delivering a knockout that leaves Berbick stumbling. Announcer. And there it is. Mike Tyson is the youngest heavyweight champion in history. The fall, late 1880s, 1990s. The loss of Int Funeral Home. Night. Mike stands alone by Cuss's casket, his face blank but his fists clenched. Mike, VO. "He wasn't just my coach. He was my father. Now, I'm lost. Fame and chaos." Montage, personal struggles. Lavish parties, expensive cars, and media scandals. Arguments with Don King. Mike losing focus in training. The fall from grace. Tokyo Dome, 1990. The fight with Buster Douglas is a disaster. Mike, out of shape and overconfident, takes heavy blows. Douglas lands a knockout punch, and the crowd erupts. Announcer: "It's over. Tyson has been defeated." Redemption 2000's present. Returning to the gym. Final fight Ektyas. Arena. Night Mike enters the ring for an exhibition match. The crowd cheers, not for the fierce fighter he once was, but for the man he's become. Reflection. Int. Interview room. Day. A reflective Mike speaks to the camera. Mike: "I was a kid from nothing. Boxing gave me everything. But it also taught me that life isn't about winning. It's about fighting." This detailed outline covers every phase of Mike Tyson's journey, from his struggles to his glory and ultimate redemption. Expanding these scenes further with dialogue, subplots, and cinematic descriptions can bring the word count to your desired goal. Would you like to dive deeper into specific moments? Zirkus, The Fall of Iron, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Int, MGM, Grand Arena, night. The air crackled with anticipation. Fans roared as celebrities filled the front rows, cell phones capturing every second of the night's main event. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul star. A fight no one saw coming, yet one that encapsulated the unpredictable nature of modern boxing. At 58 years old, Tyson, once the baddest man on the planet, was stepping into the ring again. This time, his opponent wasn't a seasoned professional, but Jake Paul, a YouTuber turned boxer whose meteoric rise in celebrity boxing was as controversial as it was lucrative. The $20 million purse Tyson was set to receive had raised eyebrows, but Mike, ever the pragmatist, had dismissed criticism with his trademark candor. Tyson, pre-fight press conference. "I'm not chasing belts anymore. I'm chasing legacy, entertainment, and yeah, a little cash too. You think I care what people say? I've been counted out my whole life." For Jake Paul, this was the culmination of his quest for legitimacy. A victory against a living legend like Tyson would silence his critics and elevate him beyond the realms of influencer boxing. The build-up. Training camp, Tyson's gym. Day. In the weeks leading up to the fight, Tyson's camp was a whirlwind of activity. His sparring sessions were intense but measured. His trainers, well aware of his age, focused on preserving his power while managing his stamina. Trainer: "Mike, don't go looking for the knockout. Let the fight come to you." Tyson nodded, but said little. He still carried an aura of intimidation, though his body moved slower, and his punches lacked the blistering speed that once defined him. Meanwhile, Jake Paul's training camp was the epitome of modern boxing showmanship. His sessions were streamed live, his sparring partners handpicked to mimic Tyson's style. Paul's team studied Tyson's old fights obsessively, looking for weaknesses in the legend's diminished arsenal. Jake Paul, on social media. "Mike's a beast, no doubt, but he's a beast from the past. I'm the future." The hype machine was relentless. Social media buzzed with debates, memes, and predictions. Fans questioned whether Tyson would still have the upper hand despite his age, or if Jake Paul's youth and conditioning would prevail. The fight night. Int, MGM Grand Arena. Ring walk. The lights dimmed. A familiar roar erupted as Tyson made his way to the ring, clad in his iconic black shorts, no robe. His expression was stoic, but his eyes betrayed a mix of excitement and nerves. Jake Paul's entrance was a spectacle. Fireworks, a live performance, and an entourage of influencers filming every moment. The stark contrast between the two fighters was a visual metaphor for their worlds. Tyson's rooted in grit and pain, Paul's in glitz and digital fame. Surrey. Round 1. The clash of eras. The bell rang. Tyson came out aggressively, his peekaboo stance intact. He moved forward, bobbing and weaving, looking to close the distance. Paul, on the other hand, circled cautiously, flicking out jabs to keep Tyson at bay. Midway through the round, Tyson landed a sharp hook to Paul's body. The younger fighter winced, retreating quickly. The crowd erupted, cheering for the flash of vintage Tyson. But Paul weathered the storm, his footwork keeping him out of danger. He peppered Tyson with jabs, scoring points without committing to heavy punches. Commentator 1. Tyson still has power, but Paul's strategy is smart. Keep moving, don't let Mike plant his feet. Round 2. Age shows its hand. Tyson's age became apparent as the fight progressed. His breathing grew heavier, his punches slower. Paul began to capitalize, landing clean shots to Tyson's head and body. Commentator 2. Jake Paul isn't just surviving, he's starting to take control. Tyson, frustrated, swung wildly, missing by inches. Paul countered with a crisp combination, staggering the legend briefly. The crowd gasped. Shuff. Round 3. The turning point. By the third round, it was clear that Tyson's stamina was fading. Paul, emboldened, became more aggressive. He landed a powerful right hand that sent Tyson stumbling into the ropes. Commentator 1. Tyson's hurt. Can Paul capitalize? Tyson's warrior spirit refused to let him quit. He fired back with a vicious uppercut, narrowly missing as Paul ducked. But his follow-up was sluggish, leaving him open to another barrage from Paul. The round ended with Tyson visibly exhausted, his corner working frantically to revive him. Round 4. The fall of a legend. The fourth round was a disaster for Tyson. Paul, sensing victory, unleashed a flurry of punches. A sharp hook to the temple sent Tyson to the canvas. Referee. 1, 2, 3.